I'm Tam.
And I'm Bob.
Welcome to our adventure.
Red London bus. All right, thanks.
It's fine boxes. Yeah, it's fine boxes. It's fine boxes and we're all back. I don't know why I'm waving at objects, but it's did. Sorry. You what? I don't know why I'm waving to inanimate objects, but it's did. Sorry.
Victoria Gate.
Buses in London are so much friendlier than buses in Australia. That's like a voiceover. No, buses just now friendlier because they actually have voiceovers that you can actually understand. Or have voiceovers. I mean, buses that have voiceovers. Trains do.
274 to Islington Angel.
Why am I so happy about that? Oh my god. It's coming to you, Laura!
the river tour part of our big bus adventure, going from the London Eye Pier up to Westminster up to Tower, or the Tower of London. Got a nice view here of London Eye. Behind us, Elizabeth Tower. Ben is nowhere to be seen, apparently. Ben got the axe a few years ago. What's that?
Huh? What?
Oh, I thought George said something. Sorry.
I said nothing at all. I just looked up. Ben did not get the axe.
Ben didn't get the axe?
Ben is the bell.
But I thought the bell doesn't, they don't ding the bell anymore.
Right, do they?
I haven't heard the bell ding.
I think the bell's up there. It's
Not ringing. Ben's retired. He didn't get the axe, he's retired. Maybe comes out of retirement every now and then. For
He's in
special occasions.
contemplative silence.
I guess he's become Buddhist.
That's a Shrek sandwich.
No,
That's probably Shrek's invented the worst thing to be done in my life.
yeah, officially, I'll never go to it again.
We got at the London Eye.
We're closest to Edge.
Are sailing on the River Thames. My family comes from London. Water buildings. The person who works on water. Ancestry might have worked on this river many, many years ago. Back in the 1500s or earlier.
Oh yeah.
Just as we leave the pier behind us, I am required by law to give you a very quick safety announcement. This is not meant to alarm you, it's simply to inform you that the vessel you're on, the City Alpha, is licensed by the Maritime Coast Guard Agency and the Port of London authorities. We carry a full complement of life-saving equipment on board, which comes in the form of life jackets, life rafts and life belts. In the highly unlikely event of an emergency, good luck. Just seeing these lists. Now, if that has given anyone any cause for concern, don't worry. The bar is open. Go and calm your nerves. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Also, I understand English is not everyone's first language, but it's the only one I know. So I will speak slowly and clearly, just for our friends from the United States. As we come down river, folks, the first bridges will go underneath. These are the Jubilee footbridges and the Charing Cross rail bridge leading to Charing Cross Station. What we like to do here on the river, folks, as we go under this bridge, blast the horn, give them all a little wave, see if they wave back. Now it's very important that you get people to wave on bridges along the Thames. It's for your safety, because if they're waving, they can't throw anything at you. You think I'm joking? Over the school holidays, we had 2 children standing on the bridge with bottles of water. We'll try again on this side. Pop-up, 7 Now don't worry if they didn't wave back. It simply means that they're from London and they're miserable. Now this next bridge we will come under on our journey down to Tower. This is Waterloo Bridge, better known in London as the Ladies' Bridge. While the men were off fighting in World War II, the women stayed home and they kept this great nation going. They built this bridge and came under enemy fire from above while doing so. It's the longest bridge to span the upper reaches of the River Thames, and the only bridge in the river's history to have ever been built both on time and under budget. So it goes to show, like my mother always said, if you want a job done right, you need to get a woman to do it. Unfortunately, this is our national theatre. Regularly voted one of the ugliest buildings in London. I don't agree. I think it's one of the ugliest in England. But one person who regularly agrees with me in interviews is our former Prince of Wales, now King, King Charles III. And let's be honest, folks, he knows a thing or two about ugly buildings. On the roadway, you see these silver and red griffins either side of the road. This denotes that we are now leaving the city of Westminster. We are entering the city of London, one of the smallest capital cities in the world, at 1 square mile. Now the next set of bridges that we will go underneath on our journey, these are the Blackfriars Road Bridge, followed by the Blackfriars Rail Bridge, which is also the railway station. Now it's better known here in London as the Tunnel of Love. It's said if you turn to the one you love as you go under the tunnel, you will get 7 years good luck. Not yet, sir, we're not underneath. Now if you're not with the one that you love, you can turn to your husband or your wife. The first bridge, this is the Road and Foot Bridge. This was built by the Victorians. As you can see, the tide is quite high, but we have done all the calculations, we do get underneath, don't panic. We come out the other side, these red pillars are all that left of the original steam locomotive bridge. And the last bridge, this is the rail bridge, also the railway station, commissioned for the 2012 Olympics. However, it wasn't opened until 2013, so not many women worked on that one here. Now you look to our left, dominating the skyline here, Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral. 365 feet to the top of that cross. It's the second largest unsupported dome in the world, only beaten by St Peter's in Rome. Now you can pay about £20 to go in here, learn all about the history, and climb the over 500 steps to the top of that dome to the viewing platform. But here's a bit of local knowledge for you. If you're here on a Sunday morning, it's open to the public for mass, so it's free. You will, however, find someone walking around with a silver champagne bucket, asking for donations. Now they don't want your coins, folks. If you put coins in a metal bucket during mass, you would interrupt everyone deep in thought and prayer. So they ask for your 5, 10 and £20 notes. It's what they very cunningly decided to call a silent donation. But to the right, the white and timber building with the thatched roof, this is a replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. It's the only thatched roof you will see in London, as they were outlawed after the Great Fire. Inside though, it is exactly as it would have been in Shakespeare's day. There's no lighting, there's no microphones, no speakers, no heating. And if it rains, you get wet, because it's an open air theatre, and umbrellas are banned because it would spoil the view of the people behind you. There's also no toilets in there, so you have to ask yourself, to pee or not to pee? The jokes don't get any better. This next bridge is Southwark Road Bridge. It was put here to ease congestion. Unfortunately, it's the most underused bridge in London. When they built it, they didn't think about the twisting, turning, one-way streets to get here. So now, the only people that use it are locals, or they're completely lost. But as we come out from the bridge, you look to our right-hand side. You see the brick building with the red windows. This is the Anchor Pub. There's been a pub on that site for over 400 years. Many famous people have had a drink in there. Samuel Pepys, the famous diarist, William Shakespeare. He used to use the loft as his changing room before walking to the original Globe Theatre that stood just where that building's being built. Tom Cruise at the end of Mission Impossible. And later tonight, me and the captain. We'll be in here, so what we'll do is research. The very important research to the commentary I'm giving you right now. We take our research very seriously, folks. Sometimes we're in there for hours. It's very thirsty work, but we do it all for you. And the final bridge we will go underneath on this journey. This is the world famous London Bridge. It's the fifth to span this stretch of the river. The first being built by the Romans over 2,000 years ago. Now the first one burnt down, the second one fell down. It's where we get the nursery rhyme, London Bridge is falling down. The fourth one, this was sinking into the mud. It was going to be taken down and scrapped until an American businessman bought it for $2 million. He had every brick numbered, catalogued and sent to America, where he had it rebuilt. And it stands to this day over Lake Havasu in Arizona. To the right, Western Europe's tallest building, the Shard of Glass. It's over 1,000 feet tall to the top. The designer, an Italian man called Lorenzo Piano, was offered £1 million for that drawing, but he turned this down. He said he wanted the 4-bed penthouse suite, and they gave it to him. He lived there for some years before selling it on to an American rapper and music producer called Will I Am for a reported £37 million. Now heading to the right, you may not see it because it has camouflage paint. This is London's very own warship, the HMS Belfast. Launched in 1939 from the very same docks as the ill-fated Titanic. You look at the front and you can see flying there the Union Jack. It's the only Union Jack in London. To officially be called a Union Jack, that flag must fly from the wooden jackstaff at the bow of a British naval warship. Any other flag like this you see in London today is simply called a Union flag. Now ahead of us, Tower Bridge. It's one of the younger bridges on the river, having been opened in the 1890s. It is entirely structurally made of steel. All the masonry work that you see is to keep it in theme with the Gothic look of our next stop, the Tower of London. Now ahead of us is our next stop, folks, the Tower of London. In the middle, you have the White Tower, built by William the Conqueror. Further back, you have the Bloody Tower, but you can't see the Bloody Tower because they put those bloody trees in the bloody way. This was built as a palace, not a prison. You see along the water's edge the top of a bricked up archway and the words "Entry to the Traitors' Gate." It's not the original name. This was the Traders' Gate. It's where the watermen would come to deliver the food, the wine, the beer to keep the royal family happy. But they changed its name when it had something of a one-way traffic in the form of traitors. If you were found guilty of treason, you would be brought down from Westminster by a waterman, sailed through that now bricked up archway and sent to your death. If you were from noble blood,
Dang.
well done. You get the razor sharp sword. One cut and you were done. If you were not from noble line, unlucky. You get the executioner's blunt axe and chopping block. But please do have a look round where you're seated. Make sure you have everything with you that you brought with you today. Your phones, your wallets, your husbands and your children. Please take all of your children, not just your favourite ones. You'll be surprised how many get left behind. I was left here when I was 7 years old. No one came back for me. They put me to work the very next day.
What the name of this was that Jordan got? But
Nope. I asked for something fruity, they gave me this. Oh, it's sweet, actually. Sweet. It is whatever it is, and she's gonna drink it.
she's gonna like it.
Hey? I'm very heavy talking, but I'll try to quit.
So Tammy got a nice cider.
It's a Cornish orchard cider.
Cornish orchard.
I like it.
And I went with, of course, this old standby Guinness. Finished in our journey in London in a most appropriate place. Our pub.
We had pie.
We had pie. We had delicious pie for dinner.
My dessert is a surprise.
I'm going to get the sticky toffee pudding and another Guinness.
Apple blackberry crumble. And another apple.
Another apple cider. Ooh, cider comes out quick.
Thank you.
She wasn't in the film until she started to get out of the film.
I was looking at people so you can end it on me again. I want to try your molasses. I love molasses. Oh my god. Bob is a jerk. You are a jerk. He knows that.
I know. Heading to dinner, back to the same place we had lunch at Lupper. So now we're going back for dinner at the Swan, which is pretty close because we just left the hotel. We come up to the intersection here where Kensington Gardens is. And if we turn right, we will be pretty much at the Swan. Okay. Hello. Hey, we're back. We are back. We have Guinness and whatever Jordan's drinking.
A lolly drink.
Lolly drink. Yeah.
Yes, you've been
Yes,
sorted.
you bet.
Thank you.
And Polish
Orchard
cider.
apple cider.
And so it's a nice little place.
West North Manor Farm.
Okay.
And it's pretty.
It is pretty in here.